incredible sight caught on camera. Take a look as a line of monster fog rolls over a mountain range in Canada.
That looks like the special effect out of a horror movie where the bad aliens are coming to get you.
Absolutely incredible. Imagine just driving along, seeing that.
Yeah, might make me worry a little bit.
This one, almost Armageddon-like. What you're looking at is fog rolling over the long-range mountains.
Maybe we could just call it Fogmageddon.
I want to show you some new video tonight. We're talking about a sinkhole striking again. This time, it's an entire lake that gets sucked underground, and fish just left flopping around in OCALA.
Constance Quigley noticed the pond outside her window shrinking Tuesday morning. About midday, something was a bit off.
The fountain that had been low before was now only shooting up about a foot.
By the evening, she and her neighbors knew something was wrong.
It's kind of weird at this point, but if it gets any bigger, it's going to get scary.
This cell phone video was taken as neighbors watched the sinkhole swallow up water.
More dolphins have turned up dead along New Jersey beaches. The dolphins were found in Seaside Heights, Long Beach Island, and other locations. The death toll is now 58 since July 9th. The director of the Marine Mammal Stranding Center in Brigantine says the cause of death is unknown. He says the dolphins appear to be dying from viral pneumonia. Scientists are also exploring other causes, such as changes in the environment.
Take a look at this incredible video from the Louisiana Bayou. It was shot by a local emergency management official as a massive sinkhole devoured an entire row of cypress trees in a matter of seconds.
We have been hearing a lot about them lately, but we rarely ever get to see a sinkhole happen right before our eyes. The sinkhole is still active and growing. Right now, there are no homes in danger, but I looked this up. 25 acres in size right now, and it's been growing for more than a year. It was a collapsed salt dome.
In China, we take a look at some of these very dramatic pictures, which we hope we can see. More than 30 visitors were injured when massive waves hit Zhejiang province. Waves as high as 20 meters were recorded by the local observation station as it crashed along the banks of the river.
The impact of the massive water invasion destroyed the wave wall and the protection net along the river.
The waves smashed a riverbank and ripped up part of a seawall in the east. State media report the water shot up to 60 feet high.
Bizarre and dangerous weather in the west. Massive pieces of hail actually shutting down parts of Colorado.
In Colorado, the ground turning white. Up to 2 feet of hail falling in Denver as severe thunderstorms rocked the Rockies. The hail, golf ball sized, and in some spots, plowable. And in Colorado Springs,
This might be really bad. We've got to go, bro, but
flooding rains trapping this couple.
I don't know if I want to test my luck.
At around 6 o'clock, rain and hail pounded parts of Littleton, flooding the area with nearly 4 feet of water in some places.
The rain triggered a wave of water that led to many water rescues and several road closings.
Out of the war at home and the shifting battlefront in this season of wildfires. Tonight, the massive mobilization of equipment and manpower we've been witnessing across the West the last few weeks is on the move to California and what has now become the country's most dangerous wildfire.
In the tinder-dry western United States, more than 50 fires are now said to be burning out of control. This one, near the Yosemite National Park, has enveloped an area of more than 80 square miles.
One of the largest California wildfires in decades is continuing to rage out of control in and around Yosemite National Park.
This is just extraordinary. California's governor has now declared a state of emergency for the city of San Francisco, 150 miles from here, because of a threat to the city's power and water supply.
Energy and water supplies in San Francisco were threatened as the blaze moved in on reservoirs and power lines. Access to Yosemite, which attracted 4 million visitors last year, was closed along Highway 120 as firefighters turned their efforts to redirecting the fires away from buildings and campgrounds. There's something fishy going on in Brazil. 10 tons of dead fish have been found floating in a Rio de Janeiro lake. Biologists say it's likely the fish deaths were caused by sewage finding its way into the water, which sits next to the Olympic Park, under construction for the 2016 Games. A man who once fished in what he describes as clear waters blames the city officials. In reality, they say it's rainwater, but the truth is only sewage is dumped in here. They said they would have a sewage treatment, but until today they've done nothing.
Evidence of yesterday's flash flooding in Hockley near Southend is still visible. The road leading into the station remains closed to traffic today. Just 24 hours before, it looked like this. This dramatic video shows a 4x4 sinking after becoming trapped in the floodwater. Scott Swinford, his 8-year-old son Reese, 6-year-old niece Jessica and 4-year-old nephew Alfie were pulled to safety through the car windows. About 20 seconds later, the car completely sank.
A mudslide triggered by snow causes chaos in what is normally one of the driest places on Earth. The light snowfall in Chile's Atacama desert was the first in 30 years. The moisture mixed with the dry desert soil created a huge mudslide that pushed its way right to the border of the town of Tocopilla. Town Mayor Fernando San Roma, who called for more government resources, said he was grateful the mud did not come into the town. Heavy machinery was brought in to remove the mud from the coastal highway, where many people were stranded in their vehicles.
Welcome back, everybody. The flooding in the Northwest Valley isn't just causing washed out roads, it's also causing some other problems. One neighborhood is reporting a strange foam, actually gurgling foam from storm drains.
Yeah, Jeff, we are in Ackerman and El Capitan, and residents say they noticed a form around 7:30 this morning. It's doubled in size since then, and just to give you an idea, it's about 40 feet wide and 4 feet high, and it just won't stop growing.
Las Vegas Water District has been there.
Okay.
And they looked at it, but they didn't tell us anything.
The city of Las Vegas sent out cleaning crews to clean up the mess, but they don't know what it is. They say it's water from the floods, but don't know what's causing that foam to gurgle.
Biologists are trying to unravel a mystery in northeastern New Mexico. More than 100 elk found dead on a ranch about 20 miles north of Las Vegas. The news comes as a shock to game and fish investigators and to hunters just days away from hunting season.
Sky News 13 flying over a gruesome discovery on the sprawling 75,000-acre Buena Vista Ranch near Mora. A massive die-off of more than 100 elk within 1 square mile. The elk weren't shot, so Game and Fish is investigating just what caused the deaths, which seemed to happen overnight. Their top suspicion? Something called epizootic hemorrhagic disease, or EHD. The often fatal disease is caused by insect bites. This is the time of year when it strikes most, when it's hot and elk herds stick together near water.
Also, along the eastern seaboard tonight, there's been a troubling mystery. What's been killing so many dolphins? Tonight, scientists believe they've figured it out.
From New York to North Carolina, federal scientists report 357 dolphins died between July 1st of this year and August 26th, a sudden and dramatic increase during a period that typically sees 36 deaths. Federal officials say the cause is the morbilli virus. The human strain of the disease causes the measles, but unlike people, there is no way to vaccinate wild dolphins.
This is the biggest die-off of East Coast dolphins in 25 years, when the virus killed at least 740 dolphins. Today, the source of the virus remains a mystery.
Heavy snowfall blanketed vast areas of southeastern Peru over the weekend, cutting off thousands of residents as freezing temperatures hit the Puno region high up in the Andes. As temperatures plummeted below 33 degrees Fahrenheit, up to 15 inches of snow fell over isolated communities. Dozens of abandoned vehicles littered snow-covered roads after some locals tried to escape the extreme weather conditions. According to local media, 12,000 families have been left stranded by the heavy snowfall, and rural communities have reportedly lost farm animals trapped under blizzards. Meteorologist Marty Bonchoms of Peru's National Weather Agency, Tsunami, says the freak weather pattern has seen increased humidity trigger heavy snowfall in the southern region. Local media reported a family of 5 died from the below-zero temperatures in the Cauca district of Puno. More snowfall and rain is forecast to continue to fall over affected areas of Peru for the remainder of the week.
Was it an elaborate prank, the sound of aliens, or something else? Those were some of the suggestions heard today as many terrace residents awoke to a rather unearthly sound, which was heard around parts of the city at around 7:30 this morning. The sound lasted for roughly 10 minutes and was recorded by many people. This recording was submitted to us by Kimberly Wookie. Similar sounds have been reported all over the world in recent years, including in Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Various explanations have been offered as to what might be causing the sounds. A physics professor at the University of Saskatchewan theorized that it's likely electromagnetic noise emitted from auroras and radiation belts.
A major 7.0 magnitude earthquake rocked Alaska's Aleutian Islands Friday, about 1,200 miles away from Anchorage.
Neighbors say a jet-like rumble shook homes and sent several people scrambling for cover.
Several aftershocks followed the large earthquake, including one that was recorded as 4.5 magnitude. But according to NOAA's Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, a destructive Pacific-wide tsunami is not expected. Miraculously, there have been no reports of major damage and no one was hurt. According to the city manager of Adak, a village in the island, residents could feel the quake there nearly 55 miles away.
5 people have been killed after a strong earthquake struck the popular tourist area of Shangri-La in China. The 5.8 magnitude quake damaged tens of thousands of homes, sparking landslides, blocking roads and trapping tourist buses. 24 people were also injured.
Around 9,000 residents have been forced to relocate, and quake and aftershock triggered landslides and closed roads leading to Xingfu village in Nisi township of Shangri-La, where the epicenter is believed to be located. And telecommunications and electricity supplies have also been affected.
Drowned crops, flooded homes and streets submerged in water. Rural communities across southern China were destroyed over the weekend as heavy rains flooded the region. And as the waters rose, it became clear that nothing was immune to its devastating power. This house collapsed in Shangluo village in China's Guangdong province on Sunday. It is unclear if anybody was hurt in the incident, but elsewhere the floods have already claimed more than 100 lives.
Extraordinary amateur video from Taiwan. The man who made this footage, Lai Hongwei, said the driver and passenger inside this car suffered only minor injuries. Tropical storm Kongray has dumped more than 500 millimeters of rain on Taiwan. Officials have stated a total of 3,600 residents have been evacuated. Trains and airplanes have been cancelled. Rescue workers had to deal with flash flooding. The government emergency centre says so far 3 people have died.
Over 30 people were reported injured, hundreds of homes damaged, and tens of thousands of households were left without power after a rare twister plowed through Tokyo suburbs on Monday. The tornado, witnessed by many, hit several suburban towns outside the Japanese capital, mainly around Noda City and Kashigaya. While violent gusts of winds are not uncommon in this part of Japan, the scale of the damage from what appears to be a tornado is practically unheard of and took residents by surprise.